Likewise. So let's dive right on into it. What are the biggest challenges involved in the transition to a clean, modern energy future?
There are four, I'm sorry, I keep losing my earpiece here. There are four pieces in particular that I would like to highlight. The first is that we really need regulatory and utility business model innovation in the electricity sector. Uh, our regulatory structures and utility business models were designed a century ago and really aren't up to speed and effective at embracing new technologies. I'm just going to take this out until I need to hear you. Um, and so we need to ensure that utility and regulatory incentives are aligned to ensure that we can focus on carbon reduction and other public policy objectives. The second challenge that I'd like to highlight is the need to change how we plan and operate the grid. Our grid, again, was designed more than 100 years ago. It was really designed for a generation of electricity from large central station power plants that was then delivered directly to customers, period, end of story. Today, we have so many more technologies available to us. We have rooftop solar, we have battery storage, we have electric vehicles, we have smart thermostats, we have all these new technologies that are available both to utilities and customers to deploy. And we really need to ensure that the grid is modernized, that we have an intelligent grid that can take advantage of all of these new technologies and optimize their value, not only for individual consumers, but also for the system as a whole. The third challenge is around the need to electrify so many things in our economy. And we often talk about, and unfortunately, the secretary, as you said, can't join us today, but often we talk about transportation electrification and electric vehicles, and that is a huge component, right? As the grid gets cleaner and cleaner and more carbon free, we want to be able to take advantage of that carbon free electricity and charge our vehicles. But increasingly, we also need to focus on electrifying the building sector as well as our industrial sector. And those are really challenging things to do for the industry. The fourth and final challenge that I want to highlight is the need to put low income people and disadvantaged communities at the center of this conversation about the transition to a clean and modern grid. We have to make sure that low income customers continue to have affordable electricity and that they can directly benefit from clean energy. Obviously, once we get to a place where the grid is carbon free, that's still a ways down the road, but eventually everybody will have access to that, and that'll be fantastic. But in the meantime, we need to make sure that low income people have access to clean energy as well.